Welcome to First and 15, the only podcast that's trying to get you paid. I'm here with two-time FFPC champ AB. Alongside him is my guy, Dio the Machine. Guys, preseason 1 starts this week. It's going to be crazy. We got a lot of news because camp is in full swing. So I want to start a segment that's called Big Deal or Nah, just because we're getting all this information, and I don't think we've ever stopped, or I don't think enough people know whether they should actually take this information in and actually change how they rank players, or whether they should just leave it alone and keep their rankings and keep the players who they're drafting the same. So Matt Stafford obviously has his back injury. I know that we've been drafting Puka back into the first round. Devontae Adams is going mid to late third round. Is this a big deal that these two highly sought after receivers have their quarterback that's injured and is not playing right now? Is that a big deal or not?
I'm gonna preface this because I literally just had an epiphany because we've been talking about offseason news, and I listen to a lot of different podcasts and shows, and just whoever just talking about how they interpret and how they handle offseason news. And I think there's a lot of great points out there, but I just we're drafting now, but we're not drafting for now. We're drafting for the regular season. We're drafting for a 17 game or 17 week, season. 17 weeks of attrition, 17 weeks of random chaos. So, even if the news is a Godwin news where we're not sure if he's going to start the week, week one, or he's definitely going to be out week one. You may love Emeka, we all love Emeka, and you may even be a Godwin fan or be off of Godwin, but ultimately, that's just the news of now, right? What do things look like week 4, week 5, week 6? Is Godwin more healthy? Because he's always going to be an injury risk, just like in this scenario with Matthew Stafford, he's going to be an injury risk. But if you were looking at the most likely scenario, just based on the numbers of someone comes back from an ACL. Well, most people who come back from an ACL, they may start off slow, but they come back. Most people who come back from an ACL do not suffer another ACL or another season-long injury. They have a higher percentage. That percentage may approach something that really scares us off that player, 30 to 40%. But I think if you go look back historically at people who suffered an ACL injury, the majority of them, most of the time, they will make it through the season. Maybe they have some setback. So I only say that to say, again, kind of going back to the Godwin situation as an example of that. If we're drafting now, I'm not going to draft based on today's information or based on the information now. I'm going to draft, as I'm planning out or as I'm preparing for war for 17 weeks. Because if I'm taking the information from Stafford now, one, we already knew what Stafford's age was. 2, we've known, if you really kind of want to get into the weeds of it, Stafford has had back issues and has had injury issues throughout. He's missed large chunks of the season. So he got an epidural, from someone who I tore my ACL twice. I had this where I couldn't lay flat. I couldn't stand, I couldn't do anything because I was compensating and I was putting pressure on a nerve. And I couldn't do anything. Nothing could touch it. Percocets, GABA, nothing could touch it. I had an epidural. 6 years now, I haven't even had anything remotely close to that type of pain. I've had zero pain discovery. And I'm not saying that that's, but what I'm saying is still the most likely scenario is that he's probably going to play. Can he get hurt? I mean, he can have a high ankle sprain. He could tear ACL. He could have a neck injury, or his back could flare up. But still, the most likely scenario is that he's probably going to play the entire season.
What's the purpose of the ACL thing? Like the epidural?
Hooping, hoop dreams at the age of 30, 35. Yeah. No, I'm saying, I tore my ACL, so I was, as you recovering from the ACL, I was compensating.
So you injured something else, is what you're saying?
Well, as I was going through the rehab, I was basically not putting enough. I wasn't walking, ambulating, or running or rehabbing in a way where things were level, and I was putting too much pressure on my right side.
So the right side got injured.
Not my knee, but basically a nerve in my back. Yeah, I had a nerve. Yeah. So, But yeah, so getting back to the point of today's news, specifically when it comes to Matthew Stafford, like it's a data point. It's important to note. However you want to play like the risk or the percentage game. To me, I think what I keep seeing is that like, oh, I'm moving these guys down my tier because his back is hurt and because he had an epidural. But what I'm not seeing is that like, okay, 100 players have had epidurals and 99% of them play the entire season, or only 60% of them play. You telling me he has an epidural without any numbers doesn't mean anything right now, because the likely scenario, unless he retires or whatever, is that he's still going to play. I mean, again, increased odds that he may not play, but I don't even know that those are increased odds because I don't know. I don't have the studies or the statistics to show me what happens when somebody has an epidural. So why would I change something based on, week 1 of preseason, 4 weeks from the start of season, when come the start of the season, say he's healthy. Now I didn't take advantage of the discount of Puka and Devontae Adams. I didn't take advantage of the discount of maybe if you're on Kyren Williams, and instead I let somebody else take that advantage.
Dio, you tend to look at injuries from a more black and white perspective. I'm not sure if you were drafting Stafford, and this really isn't a Stafford question because he's not going very high, but all of these players around him are going very high. Do you see that injury as something that would allow you to, or would affect your ability to, press the button on Puka late first round, on Devontae, on Kyren?
No.
No? Even though you see
big deal for Stafford. You said because the question is big deal or no big deal, right?
Yeah,
big deal for Stafford, but for the ancillary pieces, nah. I trust McVay too much. I remember what he did with Goff, who's not that great of a quarterback. The offense is so narrow. I think it's still going to be functional.
Garoppolo.
I actually don't have a problem with Garoppolo.
Historically,
Historically, he sucks, but there's still
in
something
this offense,
there.
though.
Exactly, there's still something there. And now with McVay, I mean, he's a Super Bowl quarterback. Now with McVay, he already has rapport with Adams. I think Puka, his talent transcends. So I'm not worried about any of the pieces now. If they're going at a discount, I would love to take advantage.
Buy the discount. I think I got Puka in a main event. I believe at like a 204, 205, like, which probably doesn't mean much because it's just reordering who I took in the first versus the second. But I think you may see him fall a little bit more.
The bigger question is, will the market actually like drop Puka in value if, like, bump it. Say Stafford is said out for the season. Would that make the fantasy market drop Puka?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think they'll be missing out.
I think one of like the advantages I feel, at least for me, of like drafting since February is, or one of the, I should say the interesting things. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, who knows? But one of the interesting things is just like seeing the news and then seeing how the board shifts.
I know. But
something like that, like just based off of like what I've seen, like I think that would have dramatic
shifts. I think that would be a major mistake because I think Puka is just that talented, right? Malik, it's not like everybody's over the moon about Malik's quarterback. Not like everybody's over the moon about Justin Jefferson's quarterback. We just believe these receivers are so talented where it's not going to matter.
We even kind of assume that Malik Neighbors' quarterback is going to change halfway through the season. I think most people think that.
I know where some people, not me, but I know some people are excited about Trevor Lawrence's, prospects this year, especially with the new system. So it's like,
and that's the better example because at least with Malik, you can just say, regardless of the quarterback, it's the 1A, 1B, and then everybody else, right? Whereas like with the BTJ, minus Chris, you got 1A, at least for me, and then you got like Hunter who can assume quite a bit of targets too as well. So like already in that situation, you're drafting like Hunter's ADP is top 6 rounds and Brian Thomas is at that 1-2 turn. So like people don't seem to care about a quarterback who is historically, really not lived up to the bill as the number 1 overall,
right. And I didn't want to make this a Hunter conversation.
Yeah, not as a Hunter, but
But I just, like I said, Puka, because Puka's not going extremely high even now, in my opinion. Because if we really were drafting him at his ceiling, remember last year I was saying I wish we could one day make a ADP map as far as players being drafted at their ceiling or their floors, right? Because I don't think it's even. I think some players you draft them because you're just so excited about what they can do that season. So you draft them at their season, not even taking into account their floor. And some players, you're like, I'm drafting them because I think at least they'll give me this.
Yeah.
Not even considering maybe he can go way better than even that.
Like Bowers, for instance. Like Bowers been drafted at his ceiling.
He drafted at his ceiling, yes.
Yeah.
He drafted at his ceiling. And I'm not knocking either way you do it.
Yeah.
I understand people draft that a certain way.
Yeah.
So
to some degree, CD Lamb is kind of drafted at his ceiling too.
No,
he's going to like number 3.
CD Lamb's ceiling is 1 overall.
Yeah, but he's going to he's the second.
Let me tell you somebody who's drafted at their floor, like Olave.
Oh yeah.
Olave drafted at the floor. Like we all expect, the offense is not that great. He has injury concerns. Yeah. We're just taking him like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah.
But if we were as high on him as we were in the past, I mean, again, not too long ago, he was a second-round pick in fantasy.
Yeah. At some point, we need to have a conversation about Olave and Ridley because they kind of go like right around each other.
Ridley might be even drafted at his floor.
And I think both of them.
I mean, a little bit because people are starting to maybe shift it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening. They're going from maybe it's not his floor that we should draft. Maybe we should go a little bit higher. But they're not taking it at his ceiling.
No.
So I say all that to say, like Puka, like I think he's in a night, like his value is even great right now.
Yeah.
Because he's going in his 3rd year. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, rookie wide receiver season ever.
Yeah. That man, he commands targets.
Yeah,
got yak potential.
And he's been getting hurt. So you would think
scheme
if
targets.
he could stay healthy, then even better. So and then we didn't even talk about Devontae. I think from all the reports, Devontae looks spry.
Yeah.
He looks good. He's beating Cowboys defenses.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, and we're talking about, and all this is happening, by the way, with the quarterback being Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about Jordan Addison for a bit. We've been talking about Jordan Addison potentially facing a suspension because of a DUI. In other states, they call it DUI suspension. But then he gets this 3-game suspension.
Texas says DWI. Other states say DUI.
So in Texas, DUI is for minors. DWI is for adults. So, so if he was charged with the same offense in Texas, it would be DWI.
Gotcha.
But he was charged with DUI. I believe he pled to that DUI, and we were waiting on a suspension for that. But then he gets this PED or this suspension for what, like a banned substance, is suspended for 3 games. So now we still haven't faced the DUI suspension.
Wait. I thought the substance was the alcohol. I thought that's what it was.
I thought that it was something different because I don't see why they wouldn't just say that it was, like for the DUI, it was for a banned substance. But that didn't tell me that was from the DUI. I thought the DUI could have been from alcohol.
This is the foot that was dropping for that instance.
Yeah, I thought it was.
If that's not, I got to do some research.
See, I didn't. So when I looked it up, I thought that he had violated league substance abuse policy. Normally,
alcohol, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think that's normally when we say substance abuse, it's some type of PED, some type of steroids, something like that.
That's actually kind of now you got me thinking.
Yeah, now I gotta look at it.
I mean, I still think it's an alcohol, but like that's actually like that's pertinent because if it is like a PED that like we just like all like did not realize,
yeah,
and then
like
get another special.
Ain't no way. You're telling us something else is about to happen.
Yeah, no, that would be.
Ain't no way.
Let's assume it's just 3 games.
Yeah, don't do that, Chris. Don't do that.
No, I'm fairly confident that the 3 games was not like based on the DUI because I think the DUI was based on alcohol. So
right, we'll figure it out. Well, okay. We'll come back to that.
Actually, I'm reading. Yeah, the plea agreement, a charge of wet, reckless driving on a highway made him subject to NFL discipline as it acknowledged the use of alcohol in the driving incident. So the DUI is based on alcohol. They never suspend someone just for using alcohol alone. So the illegal substance had to have been something else. Like that's a separate suspension.
But maybe it was all tied into like one
thing.
Don't
do this, Chris.
All right.
Okay, that's just
stay ready. I'm telling you, if another suspension comes down.
Box right there.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
So what were you asking? Is it a big deal that he's getting suspended?
Big deal or not? Obviously, they get TJ Hawk back. They got Jefferson there. For all intents and purposes, still have a rookie quarterback because he never really took a snap in a regular season. Is this a big deal that Jordan Addison is going to be out for at least 3 games?
No. One, I think his ADP had already kind of like built that in. But two, again, I'm gonna keep going back to this now that it's in my head. Like, I'm not drafting. We're drafting now, but we're not drafting for right now, or we're not drafting for like the first 3 weeks of the season. Now, I think his kind of start because I think I saw something on Twitter where his first 3 games are actually, I think 2 of those 3 games are actually pretty nice matchups, and then there's a couple of games internationally. So we could find ourselves in a sticky situation where even his first game back. Do you have confidence in putting them in your lineup because, like, it's an international game? They want to kind of work them into the offense. What? I think they have 2 international games, and then I think they have
international game have to do with
because a lot of teams, I don't know, teams just view and kind of prepare for international games differently. Like,
so what they would not.
So, like,
you said they wouldn't play him as much just
because of conditioning, not being in, not having played in the game. Like,
that would be the case whether it was, a domestic game.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily know. I know like a lot, like sometimes it's like, I've heard like coaches talk about like, we weren't quite there sure with his injury, so we didn't want him like an international play.
This ain't injury. Matter of fact, he's practicing right now with them.
I don't know what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is still conditioning. Like somebody who's coming back from suspension, do they just like throw him right now? Well, either way.
I mean, if he's going hard right now in practice, and you just saying just take 3 weeks off, think about a bye week is 1 week. So you just added 2 more bye weeks. You're not going to be that far off.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
He's taking hits right now. He's in pack. Again, there's no injury. And we know him. I mean, I don't know him, but I would assume he's still working out on his own. Yeah. The only difference is he's not taking hits.
That's what I'm saying. But that's just a devil's advocate. I'm still saying that this is like, really irrelevant. Because even like some of the other guys that may get a bump, like whether it's more targets for Jefferson or more targets for Hockenson or Naylor or whoever is like, feels that, wide receiver too, whoever feels that role.
You got in Lucky Johnson, I think.
That's still only helping you out for those, 3 weeks because eventually Addison's going to come back. So like, again, I don't want to necessarily be like making major draft changes or moving guys up and down. Because it's 3 weeks, without a guy, and then that guy comes back, and now, whatever advantage I got is like not really all that important, especially given the money weeks or playoffs, in our regular league. So,
all right, we've already talked about the LA Rams a bit. We forgot to mention that Kyren got a new contract. Is that a big deal or not? Because I know that you often like to follow the money dial, but I mean, like this is a running back, 3 years, $33 million. Is this a big deal or not?
Big deal in what context?
Big deal for fantasy and the idea that, hey, like they gave him a new contract, like they invested in him. So
I mean, did it? I don't think. Let me say it this way. I don't think anybody has gone into the season thinking Kyren wasn't going to be the running back one for the Rams. Like, like if that's what the initial premise was, then he's been super overvalued because he's a 3rd round pick right now. He's being drafted like a starting running back. So them now giving him a contract, I don't think that increases his value for this season because again, we knew he was going to be running back 1. I think the only thing that affects his dynasty perception, right? Like how long in the dynasty world do we consider him being the man with that running back 1 job?
Yeah.
And when you look at that, now you start looking at guarantees in the contract. Like how many years are actually guaranteed in the contract? Because honestly, you look at Ramondre Stevenson, Aaron Jones, they both got contracts recently too.
Yeah.
And now you look at both their situations, like, I'm not comfortable rostering those guys.
Yeah.
So, it depends. Now, I will say he's still fairly young. I think this is his 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah.
The coaches apparently love him.
Yeah.
So he's on the good side of that. I just think, if anything, again, in the dynasty world, it secures his job a lot more. But as far as redraft, I don't think it changes anything at all. Now, if you're asking me how does it affect, the other contingency options people have been drafting like Jarquez and Blake Coral, I would also say I don't think that changes much at all either because, again, I always assume they were going to go in the season as Kyren as being the main running back. With those plays, for me, it was more, of course, just contingency. If Kyren gets hurt, bam, right? Yeah. But number 2, I think the team might decide they want to use more of a committee this season, regardless of how much they paid him. Paying him money doesn't then say, okay, now we're gonna run you into the ground. So with that being the case, I don't think that changes. So big deal or no big deal for Dynasty in a certain aspect, it is a big deal. But overall, as far as value for everybody else and even for redraft this season, I don't think it's a big deal at all.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same agreement. I mean, I think it's maybe a little bit of a deal just because maybe it gives, everyone overall certainty that, like, okay, like, his job is not going to be overtaken, because you were hearing some people saying, like, Jarquez Hunter was going to take his job, People get a little. I'm saying you were hearing. I'm not saying that we were saying it, but I'm saying you were hearing
that.
You were hearing
There's
it.
no way in hell.
You know why you're hearing that, or like the evidence of that is just like 2 handcuffs or RB2s or 2 other running backs in the Rams backfield are being drafted at pretty significant value.
But I think that's why he's a third. Like, I think if they didn't have those backup running backs there, he would probably be a second or even a late first.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying a minority of people were thinking that, but I'm saying now with this contract, like that, kind of solidifies.
So do you think his value's gonna go up? Do you think he's gonna be drafted higher?
I think the community will draft him.
Where's he drafted right now, Chris? Like third, mid-third?
He's drafting in early to mid-third.
So you think he might creep into the second?
Oh yeah, he's definitely like that's just fan.
Really?
That's it's not. Remember, this is not what we think. This is just like how the market reacts.
I'm asking you what you think the market's going to be.
The market. The market will overact.
If somebody goes up, somebody else comes
exactly.
Up. So who is now falling?
So
let me say like this: who is he jumping over?
You know who's jumping over? Someone who's either been in the news for
in the second.
So anybody that's been in the news for negative reasons, or who has not been in the news at all. Like so I can give you. I don't know. He may jump. Some people may. Yeah, he may jump some. He may jump Lad. He may jump Garrett Wilson because even though you're not hearing back
in the third rounder.
Garrett Wilson was making his way up to the second round.
He hit third round.
Garrett Wilson, I think, over the last
mid third rounder.
I'm telling you, based on ADP over like the last couple of days, I think Garrett Wilson.
He's a third rounder. Pick somebody else.
Josh Jacobs. I can see him jumping Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs like right there at that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like
second and third turn.
When you talk about like the market moving, the market just moves on news.
Can he jump over Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, because this is this is the funny thing about
fantasy. Asking your thoughts, man. I'm not,
this is all market. This is not, again, we haven't gotten to like at least what I'm saying, what I think about the situation. But this is just markets. News comes out that's good, player rises. It doesn't matter how many people say this is irrelevant. So news comes out that's negative, player falls.
So you think you're basically just telling us you think this news of him getting this new contract is going to make the fantasy community increases value. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll give you another example.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
I'll give you another example too. No news for an extended period of time, a player's ADP will fall because people get bored. Or like if we had like really good news early on to start, somebody's going to try to come out with a contrarian take, and then that's going to catch fire. And then players, it's just funny. I'm telling you, Chris, I've just been watching markets like all season.
Do you think somebody that he'll jump with this contract? What do you think? Do you think his value increases? Like, what are your thoughts?
I think his value is kind of where it should be, with the exception of maybe a couple players.
With this new contract?
Huh?
So with this new contract,
I just see his value has always been better. To me, I always saw Kyren over guys like Chase Brown. Always click the button over Chase Brown when Chase Brown fell. And really that dividing line is, do I want to take Josh Jacobs or do I want to take Kyren? Okay. I always take Kyren over Josh Jacobs to me. So that's why
higher with him already. Anyway.
Yeah. So I was always higher with him.
Yeah. And my personal like take on that
creeping up though, but keep going.
Because Bucky's in it, because you're getting positive news. Yeah. And it's not even really, honestly, it's literally like no news whatsoever. People just saying like he was so good that he could be an RB1.
Yeah.
That's literally what people, it's not news actually saying like, hey, we're going to give him the majority of touches. It's just people saying that, hey, people think he was so good that he could warrant RB1 touches. But anything that comes out positive like that, then people will catch on. People will throw out stats about like how good he was. And then the market just reacts. It's just like, and literally it's just like a snowball effect.
So you brought up Garrett Wilson a second ago. I want to move to the next topic because Big Deal and Justin Fields are struggling at camp. How do we rate all of the players around the what?
What are those camp reports, man?
Yeah.
What were we trying to show?
Yeah. Just showing your ADP recently.
Let me see it.
What's
flashing?
Let's see.
Garrett Wilson.
Kyren Williams. Justin Fields is struggling at camp.
That's third round, though.
I know, but it's behind Kyren Williams.
All right. Oh, okay, I got you.
Justin Fields struggling in camp. I mean, it's somewhat to be expected a little bit.
I just don't think people should care about
struggling in camp.
Because, and I was listening because I've heard. Let me let you finish your question.
No, man. I mean, go.
Because the Texans have apparently been struggling in camp as well. But I was just hearing people talk about it. You got to understand, especially when a new quarterback, a new system, new offense, whatever, they're trying to work through things, right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to, figure all these things out while you have a defense that's just playing their defense, going as hard as they can. They're not trying to help the offense figure out how to install their offense or kind of get those reps.
Yeah.
So, especially being it's not a real game, you take more chances, you try things out, you see what works, you see what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then that gives because obviously it's also a new OC for the Jets as well. That gives the coaches and the quarterback time to figure out what works for them going into the season.
Yeah.
So struggling, I feel like camp is when it should struggle.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd be a shock more so if Justin Fields just came and just tore it up day one. Because first of all, the Jets defense probably trash.
Yeah.
And number two,
because all them Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and people running wide open.
Maybe they just trash.
Ferguson in the flat running down the top.
Or maybe the person's gonna have one of the best seasons ever. But in reality, we gotta understand they have to figure this. This is the time. This is the time to figure it out. Mm-hmm. These teams and players are not practicing as much as they did back in the day. They used to have 2 a day. They used to have way more practices. With the arbitration agreement, they cut all of that down vastly.
Yeah.
The amount of padded plays has been cut down. And then just let's look at the Jets. Who was the wide receiver 2 there? We don't even know that.
We don't.
Let alone 3, 4, and 5, right? And the tight end is the rookie. We're leaning on him who just got hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I'm going on a little soapbox.
But you know what? Even take that and then also add that to anything that comes out with the preseason on an offense struggling, the offense doing really well. None of it honestly matters from a standpoint of play because we don't know what they are trying to do.
Right.
We don't know what hey, let's work on this. Mm-hmm. Or them talking to the other coach saying, hey, we've been having a lot of issues with I don't know, a lot of issues with the blitz. Please send extra blitz this game, or our offense has been struggling with whatever zone concept. Please run a little bit more of this. We'll do a little bit of that. Right. This is so much that kind of goes into that we have no clue on. And because you just see it year in and year out. You see some teams look amazing in the preseason. You get excited about a player, and then that team and that player just is terrible.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Pickett preseason that was just they were just it was. I think it was I think it was the Pittsburgh it was Pickett, and that offense was just going crazy. Just dominating in preseason, and that offense was trash throughout the season. So, plenty of examples, like you said.
All right, Keenan Allen signs back with the Chargers again. Is that a big deal?
Oh, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Is it?
Hell yeah, it's a big deal. I could be wrong, but for me personally, hell yeah, I think it's a big deal. Number one, Keenan made it sound like he didn't even really want to play this year. He's look, I'll play here, and that's about it. And if and you have to really entice me to play. Mm-hmm. I don't see this veteran deciding to come back and play to sit on the bench.
Yeah,
It to me it doesn't make sense. And then you're in an offense too that or on a team that has a pretty good defense, Super Bowl aspirations, but is a pretty run focused team. Have dedicated a lot of resources towards the run game as well. Mm-hmm. Also drafted a tight end and then you got all these other question marks between wide receiver 2, 3 outside of that. And then Keenan's going to be playing in the slot, and he has rapport and has history with, don't forget that he
Herbert,
he dominated with Herbert, when that was the Keenan Renaissance tour, that's what got him that contract and got him that trade deal with the Bears, and then he also finished with the Bears pretty good. I don't an eye test for me, I think that a lot of that was fake and just phony. It was a lot of just I felt it was a lot of last minute stuff or back into the quarter. I don't think that that's real, but I think it's real enough to show that, okay, he can be competent out there. He can take snaps away from somebody else. Mm-hmm. Maybe in best ball, it doesn't matter as much, but I think in redraft, if you're sitting here trying to guess, it's going to take probably an injury, I think, for some of those other big name players to really be usable assets, in my opinion, but that's me.
All right. So you want to put your faith in a 33-year-old receiver?
No, I'm not. Actually, I have drafted because he's I just draft him at back late, especially best ball. I just draft him late. He's one of the last picks you could draft. But I've drafted him in FFPC because free preview game, And so if he's going to be running in the slot and Lad McConkey's, wide receiver 1, I think he probably gets most of the attention. Running game gets most of the attention. And then it's like Keenan Allen goes 3 for 50 and scores a touchdown. Like that's a usable starter. Like that's a guy like I drafted like in the late, 17th, 18th round. But outside of that, like it's not somebody that in my mind I'm thinking I'm going to be using on a week-to-week basis. I just think that he takes away from some of these other, whether you were a QJ fan or you were,
QJ doesn't have any fans.
He does. I mean, he got a shoot. Okay, whoever you were like rooting for as far as like the wide receiver 2, it hurts him. I think
Cam Scatterboo is nursing.
Well, we didn't get his take. I'm interested to hear your take on Keenan Allen. No. I want to hear. I want to know.
Good.
It's a big deal for Lad. QJ. Really, all the pieces.
Okay. Oh, even for Lad.
All the people being drafted were Lad and QJ, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a big deal for them. I don't think it's a big deal for Keenan. I don't even. You made a comment. He might give you startable weeks. I don't even think he'll do that.
Okay.
I think he just muddies the waters a
Yeah.
little bit here. You're right. He does have the rapport with Herbert, and that's not gonna go unnoticed by Herbert. So when he's in the gym, he's probably gonna look for him.
Yeah.
But I don't think Keenan Allen is gonna be that team's number 1. If it is, that's a bad thing. I do think that team wants to run the ball. Yeah, they got all these weapons, but they want to run the ball. And then, like I just said, they have all these weapons. Like one thing about the Chargers last year was just really Lad and a bad QJ. Right, that's the only offense they had.
Who still looks bad too, by the way.
I heard he looks a little better.
He keeps dropping passes, man. Like,
but I've heard, but if anything, I think his confidence is going up. Right,
yeah.
In the system. They're still they're starting him right now. Like he didn't even play the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah,
that lets you know they have high value on him. So that's there. They added KLS. They drafted Trey Harris.
Yeah.
We had our Tyler Conklin discussion a couple weeks back. They drafted Rondé Gadsden. And then they got the rookie running back.
Yeah.
And they got Najee. We don't know what's going to happen with Najee. It's like they have all these new pieces.
Yeah.
That are going to deserve the ball.
And all those people saying it does not matter. I mean, what were you saying? Like, just I'm not like throwing shade. I'm literally asking, like, and honestly asking or telling you to ask yourself, were you making the same argument about Rome Odunze? Like, oh, there's no way this 33-year-old who's getting traded is going to take over somebody who they drafted, at the seventh overall, right? 7th overall pick, Like, there's no way, like, trust me, talent's going to win out, age is going to win out. It did not.
Yeah.
It did not. Like, so for a lot of these guys are young. QJ, you've already talked about his issues, but Harris and KLS and all, a lot of these guys are young. Even people, especially tight end premium people.
Like, these are players that are hungry too.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be used.
Yeah.
Right? So I think all of that, like, even before this signing, I was literally like looking at Lad like, man, I mean, I know you're great. He was great last year. Don't get me wrong. He was great. He deserved to be as touted as highly as he is. But it's just all these new factors.
It's a tough run out.
It's like at some point you really have to look at it like, man,
like,
are we sure? Sure.
Yeah.
But again, just as far as Keenan Allen, you drafted him late, that's great, but I don't know if you're ever going to be able to use him unless you're really in a jam.
No, I'm saying he has it's the
besides the
preload. That's literally why I drafted him.
I mean, like you said, it's a 17-game season, right? Like for week 1 it's cool, but week 14, am I going to feel comfortable putting Keenan Allen out? I hope I'm not.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
and there was also the potential that he could end up elsewhere, or like a wide receiver could get injured. It's just the idea of hearing somebody saying like, I'm willing to come back for X, Y, and Z reason.
How much did he get guaranteed on that contract?
I think I don't know what the guarantee is, but I know it was like 1 year,
8.2 or 8.5 or something like that.
I don't know what the guarantee is.
So. I mean, the guarantee don't matter. I think he's going to get the whole contract, right? Just 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to cut him, right? Yeah. So he's going to get all that money.
Yeah, 1 year, $8.5 million.
Guaranteed?
It looks like it's guaranteed.
Okay. Well, I mean, that lets you know they're going to use him, right?
Yeah. I just don't think he's coming back to like sit on the bench and be a mentor.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to.
I don't feel like the mentor type.
I don't even think they have players there that are going to force him to the bench. Right? I'm excited about. I'm super excited about KLS.
Yeah,
I think he's extremely confident, extremely talented. But he's still a rookie, and he's still a late round pick. I don't think the team's going to say, "Well, we like you so much, Keenan." Now as the season progresses, if these other guys show something, it is going to be Keenan that suffers. It's going to have to be Keenan.
Yeah, I feel like we always think about the reverse as far as like when we're thinking about aging vets on bad teams and like, okay, We really want the rookies in those situations because of that bad team eventually towards the back end of the year, they're going to want to get a good look at their rookies. I feel like it's the exact opposite for teams who are like, especially teams that tasted it, feel like they're close to that championship. Like you want sure-handed vets.
You
want vets.
Be dependable.
Like you want people. That's why I feel like the Texans drafted Kirk because they were like, no, we need an adult in the room. Like we're excited about these rookies, but we're not going to like bet like farm on these rookies, you know?
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's talk about Cam Scatterboo. It's obviously nursing his hamstring injury. How do you guys feel about, like him missing some time? Is that a big deal or no?
It's a big deal from a standpoint of like, I think it is going to shift ADPs a lot. And I'm going to just go right back to my same comment. I'm drafting right now, but I'm not drafting for now. I'm drafting for a 17-game season. And so now I feel like I can actually acquire some Cam Scatterboo. I feel like I was in a draft about a week or two ago, and I got like Tracy like in the 12th round. Sometimes you get in a draft where like somebody passes on a player, then another player passes, and then you just see like people just don't believe in that player. So that player,
you got Tracy in the 12th.
Say what? And this is a main event.
Ain't no way.
I'm not lying. So like then they just like really they free fall because you're in a draft with like people who don't believe. So now with negative news, his ADP is going to drop, right? His ADP is going to drop, and then you also had
12th round.
You got to show me that board, bro.
And then you have I'll pull it up, and then you have Jordan Renan, stating like, oh, it's Tracy's job. He's all, and this is the thing is like those facts, Renan, the beat reporter for the Giants.
Okay.
Those facts of him running with the ones and Scatterboo have always been out there. But what happens on Twitter, you get people are excited about rookies. People are excited about certain players. Certain players just like people get excited about. So those are the clips that get shown, right? And so you're showing these clips, but people aren't showing those clips of like, oh, that was Jackson Dart. That was like the backup quarterback. That was the twos. That was not the ones, things like that. So I think it's important just from a standpoint of just understanding it's important so that understand that the market is going to react. And now for me, like now I'm going to draft Cam Scatterboo because it's a long season. Tracy may still continue to have fumbling issues, or he may, not be as good as Cam Scatterboo as the season moves along. That's still a situation I don't know. I think I have more Tracy than Scatterboo, but like if Scatterboo's going to drop to like, the 12th round, 13th round, like around those backups, now I'm going to be drafting him because that's still kind of somewhat ambiguous.
He's a contingency player.
Yeah, exactly.
Hurt, he's there for you, so I don't hate it.
Well, you still got Singletary there too. I know old man Singletary is there, but
he's really not that old, man.
Is he
I remember when he was drafted. He's probably like 28.
That's a guy. 28. That's a guy that could get drafted to like a team just as like insurance. Like I could see the Texans going after him. Like
who? Singletary?
Or just like a team like the Texans.
Like
a
Texans would do something like that. They'd like to bring back players.
Houston in general, we love to recycle.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
All right. Obviously, everybody's been talking about the depth chart with Travis Hunter being listed as a starting receiver. Is that a big deal or not? I think I know your answer, Dio, and I think I'm with you.
Man.
But this is really a topic.
I'm gonna just say this real quick. I'm not gonna speak on it. I'm not giving my answer. Y'all, you can just watch the previous. You can watch the previous 10 episodes, and you know exactly where I'm at with that.
I mean, but I just want to say, like, come on, man, let's not do this.
Please.
Everybody is doing it, and it's like I'm just like. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. These depth charts are not created by the team, coaches.
And they're clearly not
like none of them are.
Like some of them are leaving people off the like.
Forget about the depth chart. The depth chart's not important. Forget about the depth chart. What about what the coach said? At the very least, again, it's a data point of him talking about
wait. First of all,
like that,
this
like
is
that's
not a Travis Hunter discussion.
Okay, that's true.
We're talking about
not talking
depth chart.
Right?
And I was speaking on the depth chart. Y'all want to talk about Hunter? Y'all can't. But again, all these depth charts, like all this news, you got Adam Schefter put it. R.J. Harvey. Fifth string on the like, bro. Stop, man. Yeah. None of these coaches are creating any of these depth charts.
Yeah,
they're all created by the social media team or whoever, the PR team for the coaches themselves. And even if they were, they're not putting true value in it. It's not really saying where you are.
No.
It's just saying, look, this is just the players on our team. They're still fighting in camp to figure out where they line up in the pecking order. So I feel like everybody just been bugging out. I'm getting alerts. Jaden Higgins is listed as wide receiver 1 on the Texans. Like, bro, I don't care. like let it go. Let's see how it plays out, right? Like, I'm sorry, that was my soapbox. But if you want to talk about Hunter and whatever, Him being
he
was wide receiver 1, right? Is that what you're gonna say?
No.
Hunter wasn't.
No.
I thought he was wide receiver 1 on there.
He was listed.
Thomas.
He was listed. No. Hunter was listed as a starting wide receiver.
That's right.
And he was listed as a backup cornerback.
Yeah, he was a wide receiver 1, not the wide receiver 1, but a wide receiver 1.
Yeah. Starting wide receiver. Yeah.
All right. While it's still in my mind, guys, we have finally decided to do
round.
the listener league.
Wait, 11th though? That's crazy.
All right. While they talk about the draft for Thursday, August 21st at 9:00 Central Time, we do plan on doing the listener league. Again, it's Thursday, August 21st. If you guys want to be involved in the listener league, please DM us on Twitter. We'll need to have your email address, and you'll have to have an FFPC account fully funded for at least one team, which is $350. So if you guys do want to be a part of the listener league, please hit us up, DM us. We need to gather up all the emails. We'll send that to FFPC, and then we'll get the league started. But
no, real quick, because a lot of y'all been talking a lot of noise, okay? Like, a lot of y'all been like, I need to get in the league with you to kind of show you, because you think you know a little bit, huh? Yeah, but that's what I love. I mean, that's why we play this game. We all want to prove that like we just know the best, or we know the most, or we can like strategize the most, or we can like be in season and build the best teams, or like.
I don't need to be.
It's just bragging rights, It's bragging rights.
I'd rather just win. I don't need to be.
You don't want to beat us. Stop lying. Stop lying.
If I had to choose between winning and losing, yeah. But you know what? If it's between being in a league with y'all and potentially losing, and being in a softer league and winning, I'd rather sit out the listener league and be in a softer league.
Yeah, but if all things equal, if you could beat strangers or you could beat like two randos,
No, I'm coming back for revenge. I'm coming back for
revenge. So, listeners, like, definitely if y'all win the league last year, y'all know what happened.
It was.
If you want your revenge, if you want to come get your money back, come see me. Come see me.
You need me by like 30 points.
Come see me. I mean, I didn't take it out of FFPC. I got your money sitting right there in the account. So
it's crazy hearing Chris saying what he just said a second ago. Yeah. How, debating whether to be with us or be in a softer league, and you kind of using that to determine. Yeah, it's crazy because I look at this. I don't even look at it like that. I'm looking at it like the more leagues I'm in, especially with like smart high end players. Yeah, it's like I look at those as an advantage to see the players that they're on, where they pick up in waivers,
100%,
so I can know who to pick up on other. Like,
they're
on those guys.
Yeah,
100%. Look a little closer so I can get them on. So it's almost 100%. Like I'm excited about playing with like. Smart guy, I almost added this as a topic because I'm in a slow draft right now, and it's kind of soft. Like there's not a lot of badges that's in it, but it's a bit more like unpredictable than like I expected. Like when you're drafting with softer leagues, it's more unpredictable.
I found the opposite out though. I found it to be slightly opposite.
Man, there's the guy.
Me too.
Like I feel like when I'm in the league with a bunch of badges, like they start taking liberties, like they just start saying, "I'm gonna get my guy."
Yeah,
that's a volume drafter thing.
Yeah.
Because when you're drafting in like leagues, I think with people who don't draft a lot, like they just like buy at least for the first few rounds, they buy the books. And you're like, damn, I thought I was gonna get that guy like 2 rounds later. Like, no, they just like they're gonna grab him right there. And I think like towards like the later ends is like where you like really gotta kind of make a little headway. But agreed though, like I agree with you. Like drafting in like league with sharp people, which these days is not a hard thing to find. You just, you see interesting builds. You see like guys that like you really pay attention to the board. That's why to me, like it's not just about like drafting my team and saying, oh, look at this. It's like I like look at everybody's team. And I'm just like, okay, how can this type of team succeed? This guy like really took him past ADP. Is there something that I'm missing about this guy, or like is there some news that I missed? And like it's just a way to just like really sharpen yourself. And really kind of,
for me, it's like cheating off other people's papers.
Oh yeah,
honestly, it's like what you got? What answer did you pick? Oh, okay,
but no, man,
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I'm in this league now, and like the 101 took Brock Bowers, and then after that took Kittle.
Yeah, that was kind of.
And then Sam Laporta, like 1, 2, and 3, like
that's kind of.
And that's a non-badge.
That's kind of crazy.
That was kind of.
That's kind of crazy.
I think
that's ill-advised. I'm not going to like. Normally, I wouldn't say that, but that's
just buying the hype
because you could have easily got Sam Laporta. Like and we talked
He's
about
got
this.
Laporta later. Yeah.
We talked about this. Like,
why do you even
why
need
jump?
Laporta?
Yeah, why jump ADP that much? Okay, you're in on Laporta, right? You want to build this like monster tight end team. It makes zero sense to jump the board and get Laporta there because you can get him in the 4th. So now you're fighting against a team that has Bowers, has Kittle, and has a top guy in the 3rd,
still got Laporta,
a top guy in the 4th, and got Laporta in the 5th.
Yeah.
Shoot, I have the team. I still have my Bowers, Kittle, Trey McBride team that I drafted. Who did I end up taking in the 3rd?
Kittle.
Oh no, Kittle in the 3rd and the 4th. I think I took Kenneth Walker or somebody. You know.
Yeah.
So, but whatever.
All right, guys. So the Hall of Fame game is over. Now the rest of the league get to start preseason 1. So I do want to talk about some of these preseason games, specifically the Thursday games, Friday games. The first game of the week is going to be Indianapolis at Baltimore. Anything to kind of look at when we're talking about preseason 1, like anything that you're looking for in that first game? Obviously, we now know that Anthony Richardson is going to be the starting quarterback. I think that's news and something to kind of look at. Anything else that you guys are just looking for?
No, I think that's actually like very important because I don't know what script they have, but they are really trying to determine, are we going to go with A-Rich or are we going to go with Daniel Jones? You know, so how they perform in that game, I think, is important. And it may not necessarily just be like this person had a higher completion percentage, had more yards, had a touchdown. It may just be that like this guy like made the right reads, okay, or this guy, threw the most accurate balls, or this guy didn't turn the ball over, or this guy, kind of like really stuck to the game plan. So I think that that's very, very important because for like the last month, I've just been like drafting Anthony Richardson late because, I started I was drafting so much Justin Fields and his ADP was rising. I'm like, Anthony Richardson is like technically in a better situation. Like he's, as far as like his receiving weapons, as far as to me, his offensive, having an offensive minded head coach, who I still think is a very, very, good play caller. He has a lot of weapons there, and he has like even some younger weapons that could, potentially do something.
A.D. Mitchell had a pretty good practice, supposedly.
Yeah. And so like even if like guys like Pittman get hurt, you got Downs, you got Pierce, you got, like you said, A.D. Mitchell, and then obviously Warren. Like now they got like they've unlocked that aspect of it. I think they have a pretty decent O-line with a good run game. Like, so that's a situation where like, and they use him at the goal lines. And what I was noticing, like with at least some of like the video clips and some of like the reports coming out of the Colts camp, is like in the goal line situation, they still have Anthony Richardson running. Even like with his, like that was always a kind of the worry in the back of my mind is like, okay, with these injuries that he's had, do they not want him running? Now I feel like when they have, with having Daniel Jones as the backup, I feel like, look, we got to figure this guy out, and this is what we drafted him for. Like, we need you to be able to do this. And like, if you can't do this, then maybe we look elsewhere. But I like the fact that I saw them actually using him at the goal line because that's where his advantage is like being able to like have a healthy season where he can get like double-digit rushing TDs.
Yeah. Anything to look at? Does Baltimore have anything to prove in the preseason game? Are we looking for anything? Like from Baltimore,
don't they always like try to win the game, or is that somebody else? I feel like they always try to like win.
They
like,
did
have
go
like
like 2 seasons without like losing a preseason game.
3 years.
Yeah. So like, is there anything that you're looking for in that Indianapolis Baltimore game? No. What about Cincinnati Philadelphia game?
I don't really care about preseason games. I mean, I watch it because the football's on, but there's nothing I'm looking for.
You don't look to see like the pecking order, like no.
Just no.
No. Camp will tell me more than preseason games. Like actual like practices, like the way the pecking order is when they're practicing. Joint practices will tell me a lot. The people that don't play tells you a lot too.
Right. But that's something, though, right? Like so like
but
if Chase Brown.
There's not many starters there's not many things I think can happen now that's gonna surprise me. Like I think it's too early. I think there's only 3 preseason games now, right? 3 or 4.
Did they cut them out?
They cut one.
Okay. If they cut one, it should be 3 on the
game.
But it's 3. It's 3.
So I guess week 3 preseason, certain players that don't play, that I don't feel like are on the roster bubble, that'll be big news. Like, okay, they made the team.
Okay, so if Samaje Perine started this first preseason game, Taj Brooks did, but you wouldn't see that as.
Oh yeah,
I'd see it.
I would not care about that at all.
Not personally for me.
And again, like, you're not drafting Taj Brooks because of like what happens now. We even what happens in week 1 or week 2.
No, but you want him to be the second guy in the pecking order.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not drafting. So like, say week 1 happens, and everybody, what's the guy's name who comes out with the snap counts? Who does like
those Twitter guys?
I want to give him credit. Janky, I think. I'm pronouncing that terribly, but they come out with the snap counts, and it's like, okay, Chase Brown got 68% of the snaps. Samaje Perine got 20% of the snaps, and where am I left at? 12%. Taj Brooks got 12% of the snaps. We're like, oh, we gotta get. I'm not going out picking up Samaje Perine. I'm keeping Taj Brooks because I knew, or the vision behind that was that if Chase Brown goes down, or at some point over the course of the season, if they start to like trust Taj Brooks,
bingo,
he has the
end of the year's league winning
upside. He has a league winning upside. So like,
you don't care what's going to happen week 1 of the season, because that's just it's a long season. Man, first of all, football is a game of attrition. First off, like, we got to get through this thing healthy.
That's what we're drafting.
Most people do not get through this thing healthy.
Nope.
But after that, especially the young guys, they start to figure it out as the season goes on. They start to get confident. Coaches start to see something in them. They're new to the coach too. These coaches have only known these guys theoretically for 4 months. Like, known them, so but again, week 1, no, I'm not really looking at anything. I mean, for me, it's just excitement. I'm watching football. If there's some rookies, because I'm a Dynasty guy, so if there's some rookies I just want to see with the jersey on playing, I'm excited about it. But as far as any kind of true like input, I'm not really getting anything.
All right, so with the Cleveland Browns play Carolina, are you excited to see Tet for the first time? And I mean, assuming that he plays?
No.
Or does it matter?
I mean, he'll be in a jersey, catch a pass. Ooh.
You know why it doesn't matter to me?
Wow, that's great.
For me, it doesn't matter because I'm high on Tet. Like, I draft Tet in the 4th round, like a lot of times after that, kind of
4th. You don't let him come. He comes in the 5th though.
Sometimes I draft in the 5th. It just depends on like how far that tier backs up. Like, sometimes I'll just say, you know what, I want to take more Hurts, or I want to grab Hurts. But after like that Hurts, like when we start getting into like Xavier Words territory, like Tet's my first guy. I don't know why I keep saying this stuff on camera.
T-Mac. What's he called, T-Mac? Or his full?
No, I'm just saying, telling people where I drafted.
I don't care what he wants to be called.
T-Mac. Okay, but T-Mac, yeah.
But that's kind of,
but the reason that I like drafting T-Mac is because what I'm projecting, again, dangerous game, but we're going to roll the dice and try to win with this, is that he is the number 1 target in that offense. And it's not just that he's a number 1 target in the offense. It's that he's the number 1 target, the number 1 X, schemed X in a Dave Canales offense. And historically, that has been money. And then you add in the draft capital, and then you add in potentially like what he can do in the red zone, knowing this is a team that doesn't really have a lot of strong red zone threats. And I've seen clips of him being used in the red zone, big body. He showed that so like all of that is why I'm drafting him. And I could see an easy scenario where, like many coaches, we don't want to show much in the preseason. I just want my guy to get out there, run basic routes,
just lather up
run
a little
basic,
bit,
run basic concepts, and
feel the crowd.
Yeah, and if he's not open because he's having to go one-on-one against like a high-end corner, and that high-end corner shuts him out, I don't care, because in a real season game, like with certain offensive coordinators, these are the players I like to draft. They are scheming their guys open to where like their guys aren't just going one-on-one against like the most elite corner every single game. They're like putting these guys in motion. They're moving them around. They're creating chaos. So their guys schemed open.
Like, I honestly probably won't even watch many of the preseason games at all. I mean, I'm gonna watch the full Texans game, right? For sure. I'm gonna watch from pre-game to post-game. I'm gonna watch all of that. But besides that, again, if I just want to watch football, I'll put it on. But I'm not. Like, I don't even know what's on TV. Whatever's there, I'll watch it and probably not pay attention to it. But
you know how I'm going to play it the most? This is how I'm going to play it the most. I'm going to play it like a stock market. This guy did well. This is how the market's going to react.
A draft?
Yeah. I'm going to jump in a draft. But I only do so like if there's like guys like, okay, I need to get more of this guy. I need to draft more of this guy. Yeah, and I'm like wanting to get more of that guy. Or there's a guy like I want a lot of, and like bad news comes out. Every time bad news comes out and I'm high on a guy, like I jump in a draft. Like I try to like get the 80. I try to like just get a share. Travis. At the height of the Cam Scatterboo news, I was like, okay, this is the time to draft Tracy. Like it's not fun. It's not like exciting. It's not like fun. It's not like comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't like, oh, I get in a draft and this is like an easy click. Yes, it sucks. It like doesn't feel good.
Short
it's like you're drafting.
Never feels good.
Yeah, short. Exactly.
Yeah.
Buying low never feels good. But guess what? That shit works every single time.
Yeah.
Just don't catch a falling knife.
Yeah. That's what, and you gotta mitigate risk. So like, I'm not like I'm not doing this in the second round. Like I'm not doing this or in the first round. With some guy who's like really injured. Let me just draft him high. You gotta
So one of the teams that has, I think, the lowest expectations going into the season, the New Orleans Saints. I don't think we expect them to do very much football-wise, but obviously they still have players who are going to put up fantasy football points, as Dio always says. Chris Olave is there. They still have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is going really late. Are we sleeping on Alvin Kamara again? Because he went really late last season, and we kind of got burned by it, or some of us got burned by it by not drafting enough Alvin Kamara. How do you guys feel about where he's going right now, and whether we should buy into Alvin Kamara still being able to be, fantasy gold as he has been? I mean, but you won a damn chip with Alvin Kamara, right?
Yeah, but that's a pass, man.
I know, but
I don't
still,
think he's going that late.
I think he's going like where he should
I think
be.
he's going where he should be going.
Yeah, not necessarily. Like if you were like trying to like rank people based off of like projected points per game, then he should be going a lot higher. But again, you're not drafting like based on the first 8 weeks of the season.
Who would you say you would wherever
he's going like the fifth? Like I'm looking right now, like he's like the fifth.
No, his ADP is the fourth.
He's the early to mid fourth.
Yeah.
If you were to jump him over somebody, and let's keep it simply running backs, right? Because it's really about build roster construction, whether you want to run a back, so you make a decision. Who are you jumping him over right now? I have Kenneth Walker over him,
and that's what I was gonna start doing. I mean, like I was gonna look at Kenneth Walker first, but
his ADP,
Kenneth Walker has been injured a lot. I mean,
but I'm not worried about okay. First of all, I don't believe in drafting with a fear of injury.
I got you.
If they're playing and they're talented, they're gonna give you points. If they're hurt, then you're gonna put somebody else to replace them. And it's unfortunate if they get hurt in the game. That's a
draft better. Draft better.
But if he stays healthy, they're gonna return great value. So don't draft fearful of a potential injury.
Alvin Kamara or James Cook? You think James Cook is gonna duplicate that?
For me.
Yeah.
That's the line for me.
And I will say this:
Trevion Henderson.
I'm taking Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara's going around before him, but you know what's crazy?
I
I kind of like Henderson. I'm kind of feeling Henderson more. Pause. But
that was crazy.
I kind of want to draft more Henderson, man, because if he takes that, I think I even said this episode 1 or 2.
Yeah,
like Henderson's the type of player where I feel like can just take the job. But I was kind of saying a little bit facetious back then. But now it's like
now you believe it.
Now it's like, hey, I can see it, and if he takes that job, oh my god.
Yeah. So this is the issue with this. I think Alvin Kamara goes where he goes.
He's going in the early fifth, fourth
because he's on a bad team. Because I think even whether you're aware, either you're aware of it or subconsciously you know that like come week 15, 16, 17, minor ankle injury, we're not fighting for playoffs. I'm gonna just sit out. We're not winning anything. Let me say
but
myself.
Even last year, he wasn't even hurt at the end of last year.
He just sat out.
He wasn't doing that good.
Yeah. No. He sat out the last.
He was sitting?
Yeah, he was sitting. He had a minor injury, but he was out the last few weeks. Okay. But before that, he was top 5 points per game.
I think he started the season hot, but he kind of cooled down a lot. But again, going back to you, Chris, who would you draft? If you were to say Breece Hall, I didn't understand. I'd be like, okay, I hear you. But other than that, are you drafting Kamara over Amari Hampton right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you are fairly high over Kamara.
Yeah, but I'm not drafting Kamara over Amari and Hampton because of where their respective ADPs are.
Right, you're playing ADP.
But I think he's going to have a better season than Amari.
I got you.
So again, I want to ask you this question. Okay, Kamara may have a better season. Who do you think is going to win more fantasy leagues? And I'm not just talking about he's gonna score more points in the last 4 weeks of the season. I'm talking about
points per game.
I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about points per game.
Well,
so
what metric are we going to use?
Can I explain? Let me explain. So what I mean is you can like sustain Omarion Hampton in RBBC the first 8 to 10 weeks of the season, where he's still providing you maybe the low end RB1 numbers or high end RB2 numbers. But then, like the last quarter of the season, which is kind of like just what people say in general about like wide receivers, he takes over the role, and now he's giving you, instead of high end RB2, low end RB1 numbers, he's giving you, close to high end RB1 numbers. Versus a Kamara who's kind of giving you sustained low end RB1 numbers, but potentially falls off. Like, what would you prefer?
So let me be honest about this. I don't see Hampton as that guy. Okay. I don't see him being RB1. I think he's going around a lot of guys who are clear RB1s, who we feel like, absent any kind of injury, will be the RB1 on that team. Yeah. He's the only odd man out to me.
Depth chart got you, huh?
The
depth chart got you.
No. Like, I just think that.
What did the depth chart say for the Chargers?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what the depth chart said.
Huh?
Najee's number one.
Oh.
No, but like, I think Najee is going to get a considerable number of carries that's going to cap what Hampton can produce. And I think he's going around a bunch of receivers who don't have that number 2.
So you
or
think
like
Kamara
that
should be going mid-third?
I think he should be going mid-third.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like, think about it, though. Like, with Hampton going mid-third, like, he's going with Brees. Like, do we think that Brees is a 1A to a 1B with – I mean, like, do we think that Kyren is
not high on Brees? But you don't –
I got you.
Would you put Kamara over Kyren?
No.
So that's where you have it between.
I would put him over Brees.
But why wouldn't you put him over Kyren?
You would have Kamara over Brees.
No.
So you have him between Brees and Amari.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Like I would drop him.
So really, all you're saying is you think his ADP should be like maybe 6 picks higher.
Yeah. See, but in this draft, like he went at 501. So like I was kind of seeing him as late. Like early 5th, late 4th.
That's late. That's late for what I've been saying.
So like that's what I'm saying. So like I just think that. So maybe this is more of a Hampton conversation that we need to have. But I do think, I mean, Kamara went after Cook. I would put him above Cook.
You passed up Kamara too. So who did you draft instead?
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
You passed him up.
I took DK Metcalf.
Oh, my.
So you think DK Metcalf is
I think DK can finish like receiver 1.
Okay.
I do. Like
Overall?
Respect.
Because I think Aaron Rodgers locks in. I think he locks in. I mean, like, I mean,
receiver 1 overall.
Overall, I think he has that kind of talent.
Man, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell.
All right.
Nah, not
happening. I definitely don't see Devontae Adams, who I also drafted, by the way, being a whole round ahead of him.
DK?
You drafted Devontae a whole round ahead of him?
I mean, I did because he was there. Because I knew that he would make it back. Because I knew that he'd make it back.
Sounds like you just, drafted based off of ADP.
He is, but I feel like
I mean, you got to consider the ADP.
You got to know where people are going to be taken.
Yeah. So why would I take him any earlier, knowing that he was going to be available?
If you were that high on, if you were making this argument for Kamara, you should have you
probably should have taken him.
You should have taken him in the 4th.
Well, I didn't talk it out during that time. Like
you were on a 2-hour clock. You're on a slow draft.
Yeah.
You gotta have that's the whole.
That's not as much time.
That's the whole purpose of doing these slow drafts, is just to sit there and be like.
So who'd you draft in the second round?
I took AJ Brown in the second.
What about the first?
I took
Nico Collins.
So you had 3 receivers already.
Yeah. I'm high.
So wait, you had 3 receivers, and you think Kamara should be going in the third, and you still passed him up.
And he was, and what was the argument?
Not for Devontae though.
And he was, you were considering Ridley a lot. You were considering a lot of. I was like, man,
much later. And
there's a lot of these wide receivers that are gonna fall to the 5th, gonna fall to the 6th. Like, you don't need DK, man. But hey, DK's that guy.
Yeah,
still.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be that guy.
Like that whole discussion, all bets were off when you introduced DK.
Oh, no. But y'all are gonna regret. I'm glad that this is gonna wax because y'all gonna regret like this DK tape.
I didn't say anything wrong about DK.
Yeah,
man.
but you're kind of saying that. Oh, like DK.
He can finish number 1 overall.
I'm more saying you were talking to Kamara so hard, and then you had the opportunity to take him, and you were like,
"Nah,
I'll pass."
Yeah,
like
no.
Contributed to going at 501.
Actually did. Like when I look at the board, actually did.
You literally lowering his ADP.
Yeah, like, it's your fault, Kyle.
All right, guys, let's move on. Let's go to Dial's Dynasty Sleepers.
Hey, let's see what I got.
Yes, we got to get your sleepers. Listen, man, like you have been spot on week in, week out. I had a graphic that was going to go back. I mean, ever since episode 1, you've put us on, and like these guys have been hot players week after week. Let's go to your dynasty sleepers. Who do you see?
I'm gonna start off with the guy I'm the most excited about that I've actually wanted to talk about for almost a week now.
All right.
I have to wait till we record this show to bring him up.
All right.
And ever since then, I've been seeing people get higher on him. It's been kind of frustrating, but we'll get whatever. I'm not trying to get credit or whatever, but do for the Rams. Kanata Mumfield.
Never heard of him.
I think he might have been a 7th round pick, maybe a 6th rounder. But that guy potentially could be the wide receiver 3. And
over Tutu?
Yes, and has a bright future for that team. And if you hear Devontae Adams talk about him, Devontae Adams is like gushing over this dude. Gushing. Over, like pause that. Yeah. That's
I didn't even catch that. Wow.
So once I visualize, you know what? Yeah, you
got the visual. Wait, say the name one time. Kanata Mumfield.
Kanata Mumfield. All right, I'm looking at him now.
Maybe it was Auburn. But Pitt. Yeah, it was Pitt. You're right. It was Pitt. Yeah. But man, I mean, they talk about his route running like it's crazy. They hype him up. I watched some of his highlights. Yeah. Because I just got off a cruise. I went to Cozumel on Royal Caribbean. So I had a lot of free time. And I was just watching his college highlights. And I was like, bro, this man's like kind of a beast out there. And he was the captain of the team. Like he's one of those type of players, like a leader. Yeah. So again, I say all these sleepers, they might not be redraft sleepers, but they're dynasty guys for sure. And they're guys to keep in the back of your mind if something does have to play out during the season. Like a waiver wire. So that's the first guy. The second guy is Jimmy Garoppolo. And this is like, again, I had this listed over the weekend. And for the last couple of days, we've been hearing more about the Matt Stafford. So it's actually coming to fruition a little bit. Yeah. But just that Matt Stafford news, that back injury, and the fact that all the highlights we've seen about the Rams thus far have all been as Jimmy as the quarterback. Yeah. Like people kind of ignore that, or they don't, because they don't highlight Jimmy. Yeah. But all these Devontae Adams cooking the Cowboys highlights, Puka doing his thing, anybody else, that's from Jimmy's arm. And again, I believe in McVay and Jimmy. Again, for my dynasty, especially the super flex players, nobody's drafting. I mean, nobody's rostering Jimmy Garoppolo. He's right there. So there's something to be a potential there. Another guy, dynasty wise, Joe Milton for the Cowboys. Super athletic, super strong arm, has some speed. I think he was at University of Tennessee. The Cowboys just traded for him. He is the unquestioned quarterback 2. Let me not say that, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be the unquestioned quarterback 2 there. And we know Dak, his injury history lately. Yeah. He does get hurt. He's the type of player where, he's not that good of a quarterback, but if he starts, he's like fantasy gold. He's those type of players. Yeah. And if he does end up doing well, especially with the weapons the Cowboys have, he could be a quarterback that can win you a league. He gets that job.
Man, I just got this sick feeling in the back of my mind that we're gonna see a lot of QB trades.
Think so?
At some point this year.
During the season?
During the season.
That's kind of a rumor.
That's kind of hard though, right? Because you have to come in and learn the playbook.
But I just see a lot of these situations where teams think they're as good as they're gonna be, or they're on the cusp of just kind of either a formal rebuild or a soft rebuild. And you see I don't know. I just see some teams who maybe think that they're right there.
I mean, you're saying trade to start or trade to be depth?
No, trade to start. Basically, I could see Dak himself being traded.
But I'm saying, how can you do that? They would have no camp preparation, no rapport with the players to come in mid-season and be a guy.
Who wants to take that contract too?
That's hard.
The Saints could take that contract.
That's hard.
Team him back up.
Pause, but that's hard.
Yeah.
Wow, bro, stop. Now you're doing it on purpose.
No, man, I heard the same thing about the Rams and Shador. That if the Browns cut Shador, that that's a player that would kind of fit.
Find a way to get him in.
Had to.
You did find a way to get him in. I was like, Shador?
That is a rumor that's going around.
That's a rumor that you started. Just now.
You heard it here, right?
He literally started it just now.
I had to get him in.
Sources stated.
All right, guys.
Wow.
That's our episode this week.
Talking about.
How many more
I got
times?
more. I got more. I'm trying to be quick. Keyshawn Booty, I mentioned it last week, but I want to beat that drum a little bit more.
All right.
Sean Tucker for the Bucks.
All right.
I think he has some contingency value because Rashad White is a running back 2 there.
Mm-hmm.
But what if he's not?
Trade.
And what if Sean Tucker ends up, even playing better? We saw how there's a game last season where he went crazy.
Yeah.
Scored 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
So we know he has the talent. And we talked about on this show this season that Bucky, not the biggest guy, like he can get hurt. And if he gets hurt, there might be a great opportunity there for Sean Tucker.
Honestly, Sean Tucker is a trade candidate himself. Like, there are plenty of teams that could be like, just go back and be like,
if he gets traded, his value goes up.
Yeah.
Like, running back is one position where I feel like if you get traded to another team, it increases your value because the team obviously felt like they wanted you bad enough to trade for you.
And it's easy to acclimate.
You know why this is like in my mind, like ingrained in my mind, is because I think it was like the first time that I won that FFPC champion. It was Kenyon Drake. No, but this is like specific. This is not. It was Kenyon Drake. He was playing with the Miami Dolphins, and he got traded mid-season to the Cardinals. And remember, with Miami, he was like really not doing much.
Yeah.
And he was a guy. I think he's like getting cut in a couple of leagues too as well. And then he went to the Cardinals, and then he just had like a couple games that just like balled out. Yeah. So like some of these guys, like especially like in the league now, because I feel like we are seeing more trades in the league than we have before. You know. These guys could easily, if it's a good, like, if it's an actual, like, player who's good.
I got more sleepers to say.
Sorry, my fault.
Right.
Let me just finish.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
So another guy, Tyquan Thornton for the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I'm literally trying to ignore him.
Yeah.
You should, but okay.
I know, but I just got to mention so you can't say, we didn't say his name. Casey Washington for the Falcons. Here's the thing. This is the guy I actually brought up last season on our show. Yeah. He was a rookie at the time, 6th-round pick for the Falcons. I was kind of high on just because you didn't really know what was going on with the receiver room. You knew it was Drake London. You didn't know anything else. You didn't know about Mooney. You didn't know about Ray McLeod or whatever his name is.
Ray.
He was getting some buzz. But
But right now, Mooney's hurt.
Yeah.
Mooney's been hurt for a couple weeks now, I think. Yeah. I don't think he's coming back in time to finish camp. Like I think he might. I think he might come back during the season. And Casey's been getting buzz. Yeah. He's been getting buzz. So that hype I had from last year, sometimes they say sometimes just a year too early. That might be the situation here. There's a lot of opportunity.
But the thing is, though, like he could like legit be like, for whatever games Mooney misses, like not just like the wide receiver too, but like the number 2 receiving option.
I mean, look at what they did for Mooney. If you give that to Casey, that's a damn good play right there. You know? And then last but not least, and I'm only putting this name because I've been looking at draft lately, and this guy's ADP has sunk rock bottom. And I'm shocked. And we talked about this guy like 3 weeks ago, and y'all compared him to Darren Waller, and I said, not even a question about this guy.
Who compared him to Darren Waller?
Y'all were saying
you use y'all a lot.
Question.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this shouldn't be a question. Pat Frymouth.
Okay, I may have said that.
I may have said that. Pat Frymouth is damn near undrafted right now.
He is kind of going undrafted.
18, 19.
He should be. He should go ahead of Waller.
Bro,
he should go ahead of Waller.
This dude, and if y'all pay attention to what the Steelers are doing, they're playing this guy.
Yeah,
like he's not like a backup now.
Yeah,
now, it's almost like they added John to just say, good, now we can play even more tight ends together. But Frymouth is still on the field. If you compare Frymouth to Jonnu, they have different games.
Yeah.
Jonnu is a possession, get the ball in his hand, run.
Yeah.
They're using him in the backfield. Yeah. Frymouth is a go out and get the catches. You know what I'm saying? Go on routes, go up the seam, things like that. And we're talking about a tight end premium type league. Yeah. So those catches are actually what's more valuable than my tight end running the ball. Yeah. So again,
I might have a little alpha in him too, like after seeing that clip with him being upset. So he might have a little alpha.
I mean, if you pay attention to the reports, like they're building a relation too, Aaron Rodgers and Frymouth. Like there's something there. And again, I'm really just saying the fact that he's being taken so late and he has a potential to really give you great value or return at the tight end position. Like I just have to mention his name because I think it's ridiculous. Like he's going like where Juwan Johnson's going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been trying to beat the drum of Juwan, but now I'm like, Juwan, hold tight.
Yeah.
Let me help out Firemouth a little bit because it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I'm looking at some of this Munfield footage. I don't really see the separation there. But
don't worry. See, it's the thing. You're worried about college. Look about what he's doing now. And right now,
yeah.
I mean, just
all right. Like I keep him on the radar.
Google him.
Yeah. Like I keep him on the radar. All right, guys. That's our episode this week. Please like, rate, subscribe. We're out. Different shit, I be putting it in motion. I got it stacked to the rim, ay. All I do is touch that rim, ay. And get a cut from the wind, ay. And we ain't nothing like them, ay. Yeah, that's really in my DNA.